Hi, and welcome to the weekly general love reading for Monday, May 27th, 2019. So I post these general readings once a week, and today's is gone up a little bit late. I hadn't gotten a chance to record it until later on, so I apologize for that, but the good news is that you will get Tuesday's reading probably 2 to 3 hours after this one goes live. So you get 2 videos today. All right, and I have a full schedule for this week, so you're gonna have a video every single day. That said, we are looking at the next 7 days of your week, where you don't have to watch this on May 27th in order to get something out of it. We're going to be looking at your week, what to expect, certain dynamics that'll play out, themes, motifs, and hopefully we'll be able to make some predictions too. All I need for you to do is to look at the piles and pick the pile that resonates best with you, and using the law of attraction, that will be your reading for the week. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and name the piles. Pile number 1 is the purple butterfly. Pile number 2 is the red butterfly. Pile number 3 is the green butterfly. Pile number 4 is the blue butterfly. Pile number 5 is the white butterfly, and pile number 6 is the pink butterfly. So while you guys are picking, I want to go ahead and say, a lot of people ask, like, what are those circle cards that you're using? Well, I'm going to be using the circle cards in this reading. They're called tea leaf fortune cards, and they're put out by Ray Hepburn. I would definitely suggest readers or viewers, to invest in them. They're really fun, okay? And it's based off of, obviously, tea leaf reading, right? So I do want to clarify that, because I know I'm going to get some questions about it. Also wanted to say I am offering some new readings, like private readings, okay? You can read about that in my description. The only thing I want to say is that I am now offering a 1-question reading. Of course, that's going to be cheaper than the ones that I was offering before. You can either get it as a priority reading, or you can get it as a regular reading. So I do want to mention that. That said, don't want to waste your time, okay? Anything you need to know about me is going to be in that description if you need to get a hold of me. My email's there, and I welcome any messages, okay, you guys? I appreciate it, and all of that kind of stuff. But we're going to go ahead and start these readings. So if you have not picked your pile yet, go ahead and pause the video. Otherwise, we're going to start with the purple butterfly, pile number 1. All right. So, moving these out of the way so I have room. Okay, pile number 1. Those of you who picked the purple butterfly, here is your reading. All right, so we have turn back, okay? We have fan, we have V for victory, and we have a mountain road. Okay, this is great. We do have the 8 of Pentacles, okay? So this indicates that you're going to be working pretty hard this week, and we have the Devil, so you will probably be tempted by something. That is probably why we've got the turn back card. This is just warning, just letting you know, this week you're going to be facing some kind of temptation, and what you're supposed to do is like, no, don't go that direction. Go ahead and turn back, don't give in to that, okay? Now I'm going to contradict myself, because the Devil can also refer to a Capricorn. So I do want to mention that some of you guys might be getting this just to confirm, yeah, okay, this is the right reading for you. And turning back is going to have to do with something else, okay? But basically what we have is we have some hard work this week, okay? This can obviously mean that you're working on something metaphorical, like you're working really hard on a relationship, on yourself, and that kind of stuff. But I really feel like this is going to actually have to do with either your job, or if you're not employed, it's going to have to do with maybe school. Basically, whatever your job is, okay? So if your job is to get a job, that's what you're going to be working hard on, okay? If your job is to plant that garden bed this week, that's what you're supposed to do, okay? So it's just, whatever the job is, whatever the task at hand is, you're going to be working hard on that. But it's going to feel really rewarding, because you're going to be really productive this week, okay? Again, this could indicate Capricorn, but the overarching feeling I'm getting is that there's just going to be something that's going to tempt you. I feel like it's going to be more along the lines of either a substance or like some kind of escapist behavior. Like you're going to maybe want to play a little bit more, I don't know, video games, or maybe want to read late into the night if you're like me, right? That kind of thing. It's just some kind of habit that would have an adverse effect on your health, basically, or kind of distract from getting the things done that you want to get done. And I'm not getting that it's real hugely detrimental, but it's just that's going to be there. Be aware of it. If you decide, hey, you know what, I want to read into the night, go ahead and do it. Just letting you know that it might feel a little icky the next day, right? Okay, so one thing that I love about these three is that they all go together. We've got the mountain road, which is, I feel like this is such a symbol of hope. The mountain generally stands for some kind of obstacle in your way, obviously something that doesn't want to move and all of that. When you have the mountain road, you have a way to get over an obstacle. So whatever has been kind of blocking your way forward, and this can be in any area, but we do have this kind of like romantic hint with the fan. The fan can talk about socializing and all of that kind of thing. But this is like a celebration. This is a positive message, okay? So we're talking about romance, celebration, socializing in general. So I feel like this mountain road is going to help you get over some kind of block that's blocking you to connecting with other people. Understand, I'm getting that it's a love thing. For some of you guys, it's going to be like a business partner, or maybe a business deal. For some of you guys, it's going to be a friend. For some of you guys, it's actually going to be maybe a sibling or a parent or a cousin or just somebody in your family, okay? So do keep that in mind. What's great about it, though, is that we have the V. The V means victory in some endeavor. So whatever it is that you're really focusing on, you're like, I don't know if I'm going to be successful in this. This is assuring you that you'll have victory. Remember, this is for the next 7 days. So this is letting you know that whatever it is that you've been kind of focusing on, that you're kind of thinking that you're going to get done this week, you're going to be good with that. It might be leaked to the work stuff, working really hard on something. But I'm getting the impression that for some of you it's going to be linked, and for some of you guys it's going to be just something completely different, okay? So I just do want to kind of let you guys know that. We do have this turning back card, though. Understand that maybe the reason you have the turn back card is also because this new road has kind of opened before you, and understand that can be very, very metaphorical, okay? It could just be you have a new opportunity that's going to help you get over something that's been a challenge for you. It's okay to have to backtrack in order to get ahead. Some people feel really uncomfortable backing up because they feel like the amount of energy that they've invested in getting to where they are is somehow cheapened by backing up and going, wait a minute, I need to kind of backtrack and kind of undo some of this stuff and then go in a different direction instead. And it almost feels like you're moving backwards. You're not. Instead of going with the right choice, you're kind of like falling behind. Sometimes that's necessary. This card is just letting us know that might be something that you might feel this week. But if you feel that, it's okay, because whatever you're doing is the better way to do it. Okay. And just remember, obviously use your own discretion. I can't tell you what to do, obviously. Please don't let me do that. I don't want to take that power away from you. I'm just saying that it appears that there's some kind of area in your life that you've got to be like, wait a minute, okay. Instead of doing it this way, I'm going to try a different way. It might set me back a little bit, but in the end, it'll get me ahead, that kind of thing. Okay, so do keep that in mind. Looks like a very positive week with this. Just be aware of temptation. We all have them. I think that most people face them every single day, whether they are aware of it or not. Just be aware of that, okay? I'm getting... I thought it was over, but I'm getting, for some of you guys, this might be a purchase. My advice for that, and this does not have to do with any kind of intuition, it just has to do with psychology plus what I do personally. If you feel like you really need that, whatever it is, sit on it for a certain amount of time, maybe a day, maybe 3 days. For me, I like it to be 2 weeks if it's a certain price tag, and that price tag is going to be very varied for different people based on their finances. Sit on it for a while, and if you still need it, then that would be a good time to make that purchase. If you're thinking about making some kind of big purchase. Now, if you've planned it, that's not what it is, okay? All right, so I'm not telling you to freeze all purchases, okay? All right, guys. Looks like a good week, though, really. Alrighty. Those of you who picked pile number 2, the red butterfly, here is your reading. We have the Page of Swords, or Wheel of Fortune. Oh, this is good. For the tea tree. I was thinking about tea tree oil because I get mosquito bites and I put them on. There was a mosquito bite I got. It was right here. You probably can't even see it because I put tea tree oil on it. It's right there. Yeah, I can't see it in the viewfinder. Yeah, anyway, whatever. Tea leaf fortune cards. We've got the owl. We've got mice. Okay, and we've got the ring. Okay, so the ring represents some kind of contract. Clean up your mess. Oh my goodness. I hope that my client that got this in their private reading isn't watching this particular video, because I felt so bad that came up. But it was what needed to come up for that particular situation. Cleaning up your mess is really about, getting it together. Sometimes we create messes because we've accumulated a lot of things and we need to clean out our closet or our garages. Sometimes we accumulate mess because we've kind of gotten ourselves into a messy situation. Sometimes messes happen to us, This is just letting us know that this week you're going to be called to do something that requires kind of stepping up responsibility in an area that maybe doesn't feel so great. But things will get clean and you'll feel a lot better about it because it's just not going to be there to bother you anymore, So that's great. So yeah, we have a new contract coming in. Now, this can be as simple as you've decided that instead of getting, cable TV, you've gone with an internet-based TV, or you've got an antenna, or something like that. I live out in the country, so I have very limited options myself. So it could be like a new contract for something like that, or it could be something as big as, a marriage or getting a new job. Understand that contracts, even though they sound big and important, it could just be something small too. Something you're going to have to sign, something that you're going to have to kind of agree on with somebody. Just know that there's going to be a new agreement. That's probably the best way to put it. This could be big or small, but there's going to be some kind of new agreement. You're going to find one of your friends is going to be give you some very wise advice, okay? This doesn't necessarily have to be somebody you're real close with. This could be somebody who you know of, and somebody maybe you admire, okay? Or it could be like an older person in your life, maybe in your family, or it could even be, one of your friends. The reason I say older is that wisdom tends to be associated with older people. Because wisdom is applied knowledge, and younger people are acquiring knowledge, and then wisdom's when you start applying that, right? I don't want to give the wrong impression that this has to be an older person. It just popped in my head, so I think it's probably more like that intuitive side saying, hey, yeah, it's probably an older person for most of my viewers. Just know that you're going to get some really good advice. Whether or not you choose to follow it is up to you, obviously, but it will steer you in the right direction. Don't worry about other people arguing around you. This might be friends, coworkers, people in your peripheral, like maybe family members. They're just bickering with one another. Try not to get involved in that, because I don't feel like, I don't feel like it's going to have anything to do with you, but it's just, it might stress you out if you get involved with it and try to take sides or try to help on either side. Now, I'm not telling you not to do that. If you want to help, if you want to engage with people, or if that's your job, then of course do that, but just know it's going to come up, okay? We've got the Wheel of Fortune, so your luck's changing. So if you've been having really great luck, prepare, okay? If you've been kind of down on your luck, though, it's going to start getting better, okay? So, the Wheel of Fortune always goes up and down for every single human being on this planet. It goes up and down. So do understand that, even if you're going towards going down on your luck this week, know that it'll come back up eventually. It always does. I have a friend who has got the worst luck. It's horrible. But it's eventually going to get a lot better for him, and it's like that's the kind of feeling I'm getting for you guys, like this is the week that things are going to start changing, so that's great. We also have the Page of Swords. This lets us know that there's going to be some ideas and inspiration coming towards you guys this week. So make sure that you write that stuff down if that's the kind of thing that you like to do, because they're going to be good ideas. They're going to be good ideas that really, especially if you're a writer or if you like to communicate through words, you're going to be getting some good ideas there. So keep that in mind. Also, this also indicates to me that if you've had trouble with depression or anxiety or anything that clouds the mind, I say those up front because those are the things that I struggle with the most, but it could be anything, okay? And it doesn't even necessarily have to be it doesn't have to be a psychological disorder, okay? It could just be stress, it could be anything that's clouding the mind, making it difficult to think, that kind of thing. Your mind's going to be so much more clear this week. You're going to feel more energized and that kind of thing too. So do know that. Now, those of you who don't have it, that doesn't mean you're not going to benefit from that. You will feel more clear-minded and all of that, but it's going to be just much more it's going to make a bigger impact on those of you who pick this pile that do already have something that either you've been diagnosed with or that you suspect that you have, okay? That's what I mean, okay? I'm not saying that this doesn't apply to everybody. I just want to mention that. So, it looks like you're going to have a week, right? So, just kind of keep this in mind for the next 7 days. Understand, that luck, it goes up and down, it doesn't matter. You're going to have something to clean up. But yeah, look for this contract. I'm kind of interested. If any of you guys want to leave a comment or anything like that, I'm always interested in how my readings end up panning out. All right. Those of you who picked the third pile, the green butterfly, here is your reading. We've got start anew. Okay, yeah, there's something new that you've got to be doing, okay? Something new. We've got the Three of Wands, which is letting us know that part of starting something new is that you've got to wait too, okay? There's something you're waiting on. I get the impression that this is going to actually happen this week for a very large amount of you. Something you've been waiting on is going to happen, but not all of you, okay? So please don't, if you've been waiting on something, don't take it for granted that it's going to happen this week. Just know that for a lot of you it will. Starting something new, okay, let me rephrase. Starting anew means that there's something that you were involved in before that just got tangled up, okay? It got tangled. Maybe there was disagreements, maybe it just didn't work, or there was something like that, but you guys are going to be able to start fresh. What it reminds me of is I had signed on to this private practice at one point in my life, and I signed on as one role, and they couldn't afford to keep me. They couldn't afford to keep me and another office employee there. So we had to be let go. You know, it was fine, whatever. You know, that happened. And then I was like later on, like maybe 9 months later on, they needed to hire somebody else. And so they got a hold of me knowing, you know, and it's like I started new with them. And that's the way it feels like this is applying to you guys. It's like you're going to start new with something, but it's something that you've already tried at, and maybe it feels like maybe it fell through or it didn't work out. Some of you guys, this could be love related. Okay, we do have the moon, so right now, a lot of intuition going on in your life. We've got a lot of, don't be, you know, alarmed if you're feeling particularly emotional this week. It's okay. You know, sometimes we have emotional weeks. Doesn't mean that anything bad's going to happen. It's just you might be feeling a little bit more emotional, a little bit more sensitive than usual. That's okay. You don't want to be insensitive, all right? So we've got the moon coming up. There might be something that you're trying to hide from other people. Just maybe you're insecure about it, or maybe you're not quite ready to tell somebody maybe how you feel. That's okay too. It's absolutely appropriate to do that sometimes, but do keep in mind that sometimes we can hold on to our feelings so long that, you know, they can become kind of stagnant, and then it loses that freshness. And then when we do finally let it come out, it can kind of come out all weird, you know? So if you are holding on to something because you're really, really afraid, try to muster up some courage there, because at least in my mind, it's always better to express those feelings than not. But then again, that's me. That's not me telling you what to do. It's just me saying that's what I do. All right, so we do have the arrow. I love this because the arrow lets us know that you're on the right path. Whatever is happening in your life right now on all levels, it's what's supposed to be happening right now. I am so sorry if you're not having a good time right now, though. Because, you know, I hate it that we have to go through some negativity in order to get to that positive place. But you are on the right path. You are going to, you're going to be continuing to do what you're supposed to do. So if you've been asking yourself, man, I don't know if this is right for me, what's going on right now is right for you, okay? If you're about to make a decision that's going to change a lot, that decision needs to be made, okay? Now, ultimately, it's your choice, okay? But that decision, you know, needs to be made. You know, and yeah, we've got some lessons needing to be learned. You know, you might feel frustrated. I can see why if you're having to wait for something. I can see why if you're, you know, kind of maybe changing course a little bit. You know, but the idea is that even if it's frustrating right now for you, you are learning lessons, okay? So do know that you're still doing what you're supposed to do here. And then we also have, by the end of the week, you're going to be you're going to be getting some kind of recognition, some kind of reward. The way that I imagine it is like, it's like somebody patting you on the back, somebody saying like, I want to take you out to dinner, or I want to celebrate something that you did, that kind of thing. Now, you know, I'm not saying that specific thing is going to happen, but, you know, you might get like a bonus at work. You might end up, yes, you might get treated to dinner or lunch or something like that. But it's like you're getting some kind of reward for working hard this week. So do keep that in mind as well. All right, guys. It looks like a pretty good week, okay? Any kind of growth is going to come with some growing pains, you know? So that's okay. But it's going to be worth it, okay? All right, guys. Okay. Hi, pile number 4. Those of you who picked the blue butterfly. We have Say Thank You. We have the Vine. We have the Axe. And we have the Harp. We have the Page of Cups. And we have the Five of Swords. Okay, so we have a lot of different energy here. Okay, so this is kind of opposing, but these two cards are opposing, okay? So yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read these two cards together. I'm going to read these two cards together, and then this is kind of like something that bridges both of them, because I think that they're going to be somehow related to one another, or at least affect each other. And then this is just a little extra. So we have great happiness, okay, with the harp here. And we have the Page of Cups. All right, notice in the Page of Cups, the water behind him is relatively smooth, okay? He's a little bit awkward because he has, instead of water in his cup, he's got a fish. But basically, this is a person, it doesn't have to be male. This is a person in your life, somebody relatively new, okay? That wants to, or this gesture is new, that wants to tell you how they feel about you, and it's positive, it's most likely romantic, okay? So that is going to come with great happiness. This is something that you've been waiting for, okay? So do understand that you're going to get some kind of romantic gesture from somebody who's important in your life. Probably somebody who is relatively new, though, in your life, because I'm just getting, and the reason I'm saying that is the page generally represents more adolescent type energy. So I kind of think of a relationship that's in its adolescence, okay? The vine lets us know that there's some more knowledge you can get about a situation. Anything that you're having problems with, seek out more information. There's some new information that you have access to it. You just have to seek it out, and you'll be able to resolve a problem this week, okay? And it's not one of those things that it's like, well, what's that? I have no idea what that is. It's like you're going to be pushed to do this, okay? Like somebody's going to say, hey, have you thought about checking this thing out? Or, oh man, I read this book, I think you'd like it. Or I saw this movie and I think you'd really get something out of it. That kind of thing. It's like, it's going to come through that way, and it's going to be kind of pushed on you. That's how you'll know what it is, okay? Because it's like, this is purposeful. This is something that you're going to be pushed towards. So I would just say, keep an open mind. Know that could help solve your problems. If you don't want to do it, don't watch the movie, don't read the book, don't look for it. Just saying that it's going to make life a lot easier if you did, okay? We do have somebody... it's gonna feel like in one area, okay, this is gonna be either work or family. It could be among your friends if you're particularly extroverted and you have a lot of friends, okay, but it feels more like it's gonna be work or family related. It's like somebody's kind of like trying to instigate with you, okay? And it's like this person's like, this is the kind of person that that if anybody walks into a room with this person, they'll feel a little uncomfortable, because this person's just a little bit well, for some of you it's going to be a lot, but this person is dysfunctional, okay? Maybe they're able to function in their lives, but they're just dysfunctional, okay? For those of you who know, what this is, probably somebody with an access to disorder, okay? And basically what I'm getting is this person's going to be kind of picking at you or instigating. Try to not let it bother you, but if it does, just know that you can't ration with an irrational person. Know that, one of the best things that I've learned how to deal with people like this is when somebody keeps trying to be like, because I feel like this person's going to be like, telling you that they know something better than you do, but like they're coming from a really weird place. Just instead of saying, no, I know what I mean and all of that, you can just say, maybe you're right. And it's like, these are magic words for those kinds of people, because that's all they want. All they want is for you to consider their position. That's it. What you're saying is, maybe you're right, I don't really think you are. What they hear is, you're right. Now, it does take some maturity to be able to do that. If you don't want to do that, and if you're like, no, you're wrong, and here's why, and I'm going to just keep trying to make this person see reason, go ahead and do it. It's just something that I learned, okay? Just know there's going to be an instigator in your life, okay? And it's going to be best to ignore it as best you can. It's their problem, not yours. You didn't do anything wrong. It's them just being basically irritating, okay? We have to say thank you. You're going to get some kind of gift this week, okay? It might not even be something big like a physical item. It could be something like a compliment. Just be aware of when other people are going out of their way for you, and be aware to say thank you to them. I know that that's just basic politeness 101, but sometimes we have to be reminded of those things. I know I do. So just remember to say thank you to people when they go out of their way for you, because it really does. It really does matter. I'm going to make a gender related statement. Understand, I'm not, saying this is true 100% for all genders. I'm just saying that typically men feel better when they hear words of appreciation, like thank you, like, oh, you did a good job, thanks for doing that, and all of that, because they want to be seen. They want to know that you see what they do for you, right? Although that doesn't necessarily have to be a man. It can be a woman too. Just make sure that you're saying thank you. And I only said that about men because for those of you out there that are watching that are more feminine oriented, it might not strike you as as an important thing to say, but it is important to a lot of people. Okay. All right. And for some people, they're probably like, well, of course, I can't believe she's saying it. Like, some people might not know to say thank you. Right? Alrighty. Those of you guys who picked pile number 5, the white butterfly, here is your reading. We have decorate. Okay, get creative. That's what I'm getting there. We have the ant. Okay, you're going to be, whatever you've been working for, you're going to be reaching that achievement this week. We have horseshoes, so we've got some good luck, and we have the feather. So, this can mean two things, okay? The traditional meaning of this card is that there's somebody that you can't trust in your relationship, or no, sorry. There's somebody that you can't trust, and it's probably somebody who has made some kind of promise, and they're actually somebody that you can't depend on to keep that promise for whatever reason. Now, I don't actually feel like, if this is true, I don't actually feel like they meant to deceive you. I feel like it's like they're just taking on too much and they don't know when to say that they can't do it. So you might be disappointed by somebody not following through, okay? Try to be as compassionate as possible. I'm sure there's things that you've done before where you've taken on too much and you weren't able to follow through. If you're not, then you're a much better person than me and all of the people I know. And then for some of you guys, this is actually going to be, kind of like a sign. You're going to get a sign this week. And I understand that not all of my viewers believe in this kind of stuff, so please be patient, because some of the viewers that have picked this pile need to hear this. Some of you guys are going to get a sign that somebody on the other side, somebody who's passed, is thinking about you this week, okay? And so I do want to mention that, okay? All right, so we have the 5 of Wands, and we have the 10 of Wands, okay? So we have, we have a situation. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be playful and fun and, kind of like healthy competition, that kind of stuff. Maybe a little bickering, but more on the fun side, like arguing for the sake of arguing. Some of us like that. I'm one of those people that like that. I like debate. I like to kind of look at things from all different perspectives, okay? So I'm one of those people, but, some people don't like that, so I do want to say something like that, basically, is going to end up kind of being blown out of proportion this week, okay? It's either going to be on your end or on another person's end of somebody that you've done this with, okay? Being blown out of proportion, this person has just been under a lot of stress, and they're putting it through that I am under stress filter. Try not to hold it against them, and just know that, you've just got to be really, really clear with this person. If it's you, understand that you're putting it through a filter because you're afraid of something, okay? Most likely, okay? Most likely it's a fear-based response. And understand that it's okay, all right? Everybody misunderstands people. You cannot communicate perfectly with anybody, okay? Like, you can't have that perfect communication. every so often there is going to be a misunderstanding. That's just the way that relationships work. It's okay if you've taken things the wrong way. Just know that if you find yourself being hurt by somebody this week, chances are they really didn't mean it to be taken that way. Okay? And I can tell you, like, actually, I had a situation like this happen for me, and it was a really, really weird situation. It's probably not even going to make sense, but I can't really explain it without, like, revealing, like, all of this stuff that I just really don't want to get into. But let's just put it this way. There was a situation where we were talking about empathy, and we were talking about the way that different people express it, right? And I asked one of my friends, I was like, hey, can you let me know how I come across when I'm being empathetic? And because of the nature of the place where we were in, this friend needed to have their identity be unknown. Okay? And there's a really good reason for it. I just don't want to go into it. So there was and because of that, this person was pretending like they didn't know me, right? And so they're like, how am I supposed to know? Only I didn't remember that this person had to, like, have their identity be unknown. So for about, I think it was about 16 hours, I was sitting there like, what? And I was all like, how could this person think I don't have empathy? What do they think, that I'm a psychopath or something like that? And I was this person, I was totally like, I wasn't even thinking about the context. I wasn't even thinking like, oh, this person, other people can't know the identity of that person in this particular case because of this other thing. Just think like undercover cop kind of thing. Like, that's not what this person is, but it's like that, okay? It's a good reason. And anyway, they had to come back and be like, oh, Cassie, of course you have empathy, and all of this kind of stuff. The bottom line is, it's really easy to get into misunderstandings and really run with something and take it that far. And I did that myself in the past week, okay? So if it's you, just understand it's so easy to do that. Just know that there might be missing information there, okay? So just kind of seek out clarity if that happens to you. Decorate. This is, normally I get this feeling like a person needs to kind of dress up and everything, everything like that. If that's what you guys if that resonates with you, that maybe you need to dress up, or maybe you need to kind of rearrange your room to have, just that energy flow better, go with that. With most of you though, with Decorate, I feel like you guys are going to be in like a creative element where you're going to be creating something that's going to add to the ambience of a place. So that might be, for those of you who write music, maybe you're going to be working on writing, composing music, that kind of thing. It could be basically any creative endeavor. I don't want to limit it to music. It could be anything. So be aware of that creative endeavor that's coming to you. Any kind of creative impulse. Try to follow that if you have time and if you can, because you're being inspired by something here. All right. Okay, so that's what your week's gonna be like. All right, and pile number 6. Those of you who picked the pink butterfly, here's your reading. We have detox. Oh no. I promise I did not put this up on purpose. I am actually, sometimes I get really embarrassed because of the way that cards come across, okay? But I promise that this was not done on purpose, okay? Because, seriously, please have a sense of humor and just kind of think. We've got detox right here, and we have pig right here, okay? Look, when I think about detoxing, it's like, okay, it's time to diet. And then when we have the pig right here, it's like, oh no, really? So yeah, we've got detox, we've got the pig, we've got coins. So this is good. This is, a lot of like money. We've got the rabbit. We've got the 3 of Pentacles, and we have the Knight of Wands, okay? So let me clear this up as quickly as possible. Okay, so the pig warns, about greed, okay? Being aware of excessive greed. So if you have found that you've kind of wanted more, and then it's almost started to feel a little bit wrong how much you want in a situation, be aware that, to kind of like maybe step back a little bit and try to like maybe minimize your life a little bit more. Because when we want more, what we do is we end up complicating our lives in most cases, because we have more stuff to manage, right? This might have to do with sex, because we also have a lot of concern with sexual matters this week. Now that can be a good thing, but if you are in a position where you've been kind of like, maybe you've been having a lot of casual sex, or maybe you haven't been careful with sex, or whatever, just be aware of that, okay? There might be some of that energy there. Understand that it doesn't necessarily have to be purely sexual. It could just be desire, okay? So it could be that as well. But it typically with the rabbit, it does have to do with sex, okay? So I just want to mention that. We've got the, money's going to be coming your way this week. There's going to be something, maybe it's as simple as getting paid this week, okay? And I hate saying that because it's like, oh, well, that's disappointing. I thought it was going to be more. But the money will be coming your way. Understand you will have the resources you need this week. So if you're worried about something, in the material world not coming through, it's going to be okay. All right. We have the Three of Coins here that's letting us know that you are going to be getting recognition at work. If you don't work right now, you're going to be getting recognition from somebody. Let's say maybe you're a student, you'll be getting recognition from your teacher or from your classmates. Maybe you're retired, you'll be getting recognition for whatever it is that you spend a lot of time doing, okay? We also have the Knight of Wands, which is like, you're going to be ready to take some action in your life, okay? And then we have the detox. This is kind of, now for me, like I said, I think about detoxing as like, okay, maybe I need to lose about 10 pounds, that kind of thing. And then, I'll do a detox diet, that kind of thing. But I really feel like in the context of all of this is more like getting rid of anything that's not serving you. It's a really rudimentary question, and it's almost like kindergarten level, but asking yourself, is this helpful or hurtful to me, is really great at eliminating things in your life that you don't need anymore, okay? So detoxing is about getting rid of anything that's toxic to you. This could be about taking like a mineral bath, okay? It could be about like literal detoxing like that, drinking more water, making certain that you've got some exercise going on, so you're sweating out all of that nasty stuff, and all of that. Or it could mean, something as simple as needing a spa day, or needing to get rid of some stuff in your life. It could mean, hey, might need to clean up your home to make sure to reduce allergens and that kind of stuff, It's just anything that's like nasty that you got to get rid of. That's what that's talking about, okay? So it's not, it's not necessarily it's not saying, what it seems like it might be saying with detoxing the pig. So that said, it does it looks like it's not like, one thing that kind of strikes me about this week for you guys, excuse me, it's not necessarily really, really eventful, but it's not bad either, okay? So that's good. It seems like it's, sometimes we have kind of mediocre weeks, but that's okay. Hey, I'd take a mediocre week over a bad one any week. All right. All right, guys. Thank you so much for sticking with me to the end of my video. I really appreciate it. I can't tell you how much I am floored with the amount of likes and comments and subscribes and the amount of support that I get from you guys. I really, really appreciate it. And I don't want you guys to ever think that I'm not aware of, how special this whole process is, I'm looking forward to adding a lot more content this week and continuing up this whole summer with much more content and all of that great stuff, because I want to get as much resources out for you guys on what to expect in your life, and give you some extra guidance, because I know that as much, as much as it might be helpful to get a private reading, the public readings really help because it's me sharing my gift with you guys, and I want to make sure that I'm sharing that as much as possible. So those of you who might not be able to afford a private reading do have the ability to get some guidance from me, okay? Thank you guys so much. I just can't say it enough. If you need me, all of that information's in the description. Or leave a comment. You can always email me and all of that kind of stuff. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you soon with the Tuesday Pick a Card reading.